Hey everyone, this is Nicole. I'm here today with Queen & Company. I'm going to share with you how I created this really fun summer page using lots of Queen & Company's different toppings and embellishments. So as you can see here, I'm just starting with a die cut sunray that I cut on my digital die cut machine. And the idea for this page is to use a lot of the different Queen & Company embellishments and sequins and shaker toppings to fill in that sunray, just to make it sparkle and shine. So I'm just going to grab a few things here. I've started off with these fun sequins. There's a few different shapes in the different sequin jars. They have a bit of a flower, there's some hearts, some circles, some stars. And I had thought about using a bit of a rainbow kind of design, but I thought that might be too colorful. So I'm going to go with a different theme, but I decided to add a few rows of stitching to each of my sunbeams here. And then I'm going to add my photo. I figured it was just easier to get the photo on there and then fill in around it rather than adding all the embellishments and then adding the photo later. So as you can see, I've just started to fill in the sun rays. I'm adding along that stitch line that I made, and I started with the larger items like the donut shapes. What else did I use? The pinwheels, the rivets, things like that. And then I got gradually smaller. So I started with those larger embellishments, all in a yellow theme. And then I'm going to slowly go down into a smaller size as I move along. You can see there's several different packages there that I've chosen to use for this layout, and I'm not going to use all of them, but I really am trying to mix up a good variety of the larger items as well as some items that are shinier and not so shiny. They're more of a matte finish. I'm also using the sheer glue to add those sequins on. I really find it helps keep it down nice and tacky. You don't worry about sequins popping off later on. So I've added in some teardrops, and then I'm adding in a few opals here just from a white to get some white variation in there and a little bit of the clear as well. And you can see that fills in that sunburst shape quite quickly. And you can also layer some of the items as well. So I have the donuts here, and it's a round sparkly shape, and I'm just adding some sheer glue, and I'm adding in a sequin, and then I'm going to just drop a little shaker pearl inside each of those 3 donuts. That just adds a little bit of a design to each of the little donut shapes rather than having the empty center. So you can see that was quite quick to fill in my sunburst, so I decided that I would use more of the fillers from the shakers inside this die cut shape I had left on my craft space. So it says the word hello, and all I did was I layered it over top of another piece of white cardstock, and the idea is to use the tiny little micro beads here to fill in each of the shapes and letters in that die cut design. So I'm starting with a little heart, and I have used the pink micro beads here to fill that in. And I'm just taking the sheer glue, as you can see, filling in that design lightly with the sheer glue, and then using the beads and the filler tray just to fill it in and quickly clean it up. It's very quick with that topping tray to fill it in and get rid of your mess. It really is quite helpful. It's very good. As you can see here, I'm just going to use a little bit of purple in this little tiny heart, and it fills it in quite nicely. I do have to fill a little bit because I wasn't so great with the glue. I might have a little overlap, so I'm just cleaning it up with my paper piercer here. And then as you can see, you can just slide those items back into your package, and they fit quite nicely back in. There's not a lot of messing around with that. So I'm just going to continue on with my word here. It says hello, and I'm just going to fill one in with a different color. And like I said earlier, some of those beads are clearly really tiny, so I'm just using my paper piercer and sometimes even a little dry paintbrush just to clean up any little loose beads that static to the back of my cardstock. The only trick with this is probably next time if I were to do this technique, I would add a piece of washi tape and a scrap piece of paper to cover up the areas I've already glued, because as you can see here, some of the little beads like to run away from where they're supposed to be, and I was getting green in with my pink heart, and that was kind of bothering me, but in the end I just let it be because it is. But that's maybe what I would do next time, is just to kind of cover that area up so the beads don't creep into the area if I wanted the color to be different. And so we're really simple now. I'm just going to finish off the page. I decided that the edge of that die cut was a little too white, so I'm just going to add a tiny little brush here, a dry brush of mint green paint around the edges, and I'm just going to dab off lightly with my baby wipe just so that it's really just a very light version of that mint green. I don't want it to be super heavy. I just want it to contrast a little bit better on the white background on the page, and the baby wipe helps with cleanup as well. So I'm going to add that for part of my title, and as you can see here, I have some papers from the 6x6 Picture Perfect Max Stack. So I have a light pink and a dark pink. I've just created the title in my digital die cut software, and my blade is not very sharp, so I'm just trimming a little bit of that out. And then I'm going to layer the title together really quite simply with some simple adhesive. And you can see the patterns really play nice together. The light pink and the dark pink add a nice touch, and they go along with those cute micro beads that are in the hello title as well. So I'm just going to layer that together and add that onto my page right underneath my photo. So you can see how all the different collections and embellishments really go well with each other. You don't need to have specific things to go with a specific collection. This matte stack is really fun and colorful and can be used for several different occasions. And this one here for summer is just perfect with all the pops of pink along with that yellow. So I'm just going to add this with some foam adhesive to finish off my title, and my page will be complete. Here's a few close-up shots of those die cut word all embellished with the little tiny micro beads. And here are the pretty blinged out sunburst in the background of my page. You can see all the different embellishments that I was able to use, and I only used a few of each one, so that really didn't overwhelm the top part of the page. I really love how they all go together yet are completely great on their own too, and just a fun way to sparkle up the background of this fun summary page. That's it for me today. I'll see you next month with another video for Queen & Company. Bye bye.